Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are almost ready for the FGWC, the False Group World Championship Shadow event, which is the Academy teams taking centre stage instead of the aliens of the no assist world. We've got a treat for you tonight around the Hungaroring in Budapest, Hungary, as TTM take on ETE. On your screen you can see the teams representing TTM, or the drivers representing TTM. You have TTM Tomper, Walking Chaos, TTM Kenyan, TTM Valet, Jack, and TTM Lewis, who I believe and have been told is rather fast, coming from many people that have told me. So he's one to watch out for, as they all are, of course. Representing ETE tonight, we have ETE Ants, ETE Wispy, ETE Railiex, ETE Murder, ETE Jason Back, and ETE Matthew. So some very, very quick drivers on show for us tonight at Hungary. Just waiting for the lobby to get set up and we'll join them ready to go into qualifying. But I've got a hell of a treat for you tonight. Obviously I'm not Bia, as you can tell. I've got a little bit more hair, but not a lot more than the legend of Beer and Kebab. But joining me in the comms box is none other than one of the fastest guys on Xbox, the team captain of ETE, Mr. ETE Rusty. How are we tonight?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Looking forward to a battle of the Titans. These two, of course, have had a friendly match in the past, but never met in actual competition. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top early doors in the Shadow competition.
Yeah.
Of course, it is Hungary tonight. So as we have a proper esports legend in with us, we'll get to your opinion on Hungary, on what it's like to drive there, overtaking opportunities, and basically where you think it's going to be won and lost. What's your thoughts on Hungary?
It's a very, very difficult circuit to get right. It's, people call it Monaco without the walls. There's not many overtaking opportunities around this track, so qualifying can be quite important. Tyre wear is quite the high around here, so 2 stops could be on the strategy, or maybe a 1 stop with a easily soft or hard. Soft and medium will be a bit of a stretch if you're wanting to do that 1 stop, but 2 stops normally soft, medium, which I reckon won't be used. I think the soft hard will be the preferred strategy around here.
Yeah, avoiding that extra pit stop is probably crucial. Of course, safety cars could play a part. Weather, of course, a lot of these drives will be hoping for a dry race, but rain will certainly spice things up a bit. Rufio in the chat says, "Let's go, boys!" and Matty says, "Hi, Massey." Hi, Matty. It's going to be a good one. Again, we're just waiting for the lobby to be open. And then we'll get going. Jason says he needs an invite. I think we all do, Jason. I don't think it's been set up yet.
Sure, the lobby is open. Surprisingly, with 2 minutes to go, it's not quite going to plan.
Hold the lace from somewhere.
Let's have a look.
I'm just going to quickly
show
everyone that's currently joining. I'll get the team previews back up again for you so you can see who is racing.
2 very strong teams tonight from both sides, so it'll be very entertaining to see what both teams can pull out.
Mr. Beer in the chat, good evening. The legend of Beer and Kebab has graced us with his presence in the chat. #Storm Unleashed. That is correct indeed. It's going to be a storm out on track, and we will try and cover it as best we can. 16 people viewing so far, so thank you everyone for tuning in for what is bound to be an incredible battle between TTM and ETE here at Hungary. Short qualifying, so a lot of people may well go for that soft tyre to get the qualifying advantage. Or do you think maybe a few will gamble and risk the qualifying position to start on the mediums?
I'm not sure. As I said, it's like Monaco without the walls. So starting near the back is going to be not the most fun, as you're a lot more prone to damage, etc. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think most people will go on the softs. Each team might sacrifice one driver to go in the alternate strategy, and then I think the rest will just be on softs.
Yeah, definitely. You want to be. I've just seen Godzilla's status change on the F1 game, so that might be a sign that we're about to get an invite to the lobby. Fingers crossed. But yeah, it's going to be intriguing. Like I said, very even teams. I know a few of the TTM drivers that I've either raced against or heard of. Obviously, we know all of the ETE drivers as we've raced against them all. As Rufio says, track position is key around here. Yep, certainly. As Rusty was saying, it's Monaco without the walls. Card
Okay.
is in multiplayer mode.
Yep. The lobby is open, so I'll get in and I'll send you an invite. My console's in. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, you might think that teams would try and give a tow, around here, but it's very difficult to do. There isn't really any places to give a tow, with it being such a tight and not many straights at all, apart from the main straight. So we'll...
Yeah, the tow at some tracks is quite key, but I think, like you said, it's that middle sector. If you end up too close to a car through that middle sector, it's...
Yeah,
good night, Irene. It's
affect you a lot.
Evening crowding in the chat. NRX crowding, of course, formerly of NRX, the team that sort of took esports by storm by starting up, taking on the world, winning some competitions, and then unfortunately coming to a close. Crowding, of course, has joined ETE. So we're expecting the NRX to be changed, or are you are you paying homage to your former owners? But no, great to have you in the chat, crowding. It's going to be interesting. An interesting night ahead. We've got this battle up first between TTM and ETE, and then shortly when this finishes I will be streaming again for a penultimate round in TSD, where potentially we'll be crowning a champion around Saudi Arabia, but that's for later. Tonight, of course, is esports. As Matty says, Lewis and Valet are ones to look out for in TTM. Yes, I've raced Valet before, and I've heard of Lewis, and I think you know Lewis, don't you?
Yeah, I was once in a team with Lewis, so I know. Yeah, he does have some pace. They'll definitely be the ones to look out for. But as I said, both teams are very strong. It's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah, definitely. Raylex has just joined as well. Raylex is a driver who's fairly new to ETE, but I've seen him race a couple of times in ERN. He is fast and continues to improve
every day. I can't wait to see this man. A few months, he's going to be up there. Definitely.
Oh God, yeah. Like, I heard some of his TT times for Hungary, and my jaw hit the floor. And I thought, what?
They're only going to improve as well. That's the thing. It's even better.
As Beers put in the chat, ones to watch out for: Arnts, Wispy, Raylex, Murder, Jason and Matthew. No bias there, of course. Love it. So we've got currently 10 people. Just waiting for a couple more people to join. It is ET will be in the white car, and as you'd expect, TTM in the purple. So just waiting for a couple more TTM drivers to join, and then we'll be getting underway. As crowding starts off the banter early with Lewis is a TT merchant.
Ooh.
We'll see about that in the race, of course.
Like,
as Nathan says, where's TTM Rossi? I don't know. Can't answer that question.
Yeah. Tonight also penalties will be a big thing. Got to keep it inside the track limits.
Definitely.
Which is, I wouldn't say it's quite difficult, in my opinion, to get a penalty with it being so tight and not much of a runoff. So if you were to go wide, you most likely get damage, but it's still obviously you're still able to get penalties. Which will be a big
definitely.
factor.
We've got hashtag free up Rossi in the chat. So, I'm not that familiar with TTM Rossi, but I'm guessing he's a firm favourite of some TTM fans, and they want him in. So I'm not sure why he's not racing. I think he was in the original lineup. I'm not sure whether he couldn't make it and he's been replaced. I think TTM Tompa came in as a late replacement for someone. But yeah, hashtag free up Rossi, wherever you may be. Hope you're doing good, Mr. Rossi. I think we're about ready to go. We've got everyone in.
Yep. I'm just waiting for confirmation.
Get stream up.
Oh, will it rain or will it be dry? That's the question.
I know if I'm racing here, I want it to be dry.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would not enjoy this track.
For us watching, we'd like it to be wet.
Yeah, it would be quite entertaining to see the carnage that unfolds in front of us.
One thing they'll all want to avoid, though, is that horrendous curb of death.
Oh yeah.
Early on in Sector 2, that sort of hairpin just after the fast left where we saw Max and Lewis go side by side a couple of years ago.
Gotta make sure you take a wide entry into that corner just to make sure you're definitely avoiding it as a slight touch, and you know what happens. The car just spins. You've got no chance of saving
Round
it.
she goes. Nathan says he was in the development team, but because he did big twos, since he's no assist, False Group changed the rules to prevent him racing. Controversy at False Group.
Oh no.
Yeah, I believe if you're part of the main team, then you probably can't race in the academy, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a rule where if you had a driver in big twos or assist twos, that they couldn't race in the Shadow tournament.
Yeah.
So
gives the little guys a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
To have a go at it. Otherwise, we'd be bringing Mr. Rusty in to into the Shadow. Then
you would just see in the Shadow teams, everyone will have their main team as a Shadow team. It's like
yes,
very quick Shadow teams.
Okay, so they have readied up. So we're about to go trackside here in Budapest. 12 people currently watching the stream. So thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. We have got about an hour and a half worth of action ahead of us in Hungary. As Maka joins the chat, says, "Come on, the boys!" ETE Maka, of course, tuning in to try and cheer on, throw the pom poms in the air for ETE. Let me just get the menus up.
It is dry.
It is Lucky Devils. It should be straightforward for us to guess which teams are coming round, as white and purple is pretty easy to differentiate between, unlike the actual game where there's about 4 different shades of blue to guess who's coming round.
Unless you're heavily colourblind, you should be able to notice.
Yes. Storm in the chat, Mr. ERN himself.
Mr. Mate.
Storm. Yes. If anyone's tuned into Beer's streams in the past, there's a sound thing you can put on there, which is basically a famous phrase from ETE Storm, which I'm not going to do it much justice, but it's basically "mate, what the fuck?" Which is, if you get mated by Storm, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, you look in your PMs and it just says "mate," and you think in your heads, "Oh god, here we go."
Yeah. You get that DM, that Discord that just says "mate" with nothing else after it. You're like, "Oh, what have I done?"
Exactly.
Crowden says Lewis for pole, but to DNF. As we will get to some predictions later on. My favourite predictions, if anyone's watched any of my streams before, are the win it and bin it predictions. So who's going to be the winner? Who's going to be the first to bin it? I think Crowding's already got his prediction for that.
So we have
Rufio,
the first car out
that is
Walking Chaos on the soft compounder tyres.
There we go, so showing his hand early in the purple TTM car. A few cars, of course, released their cars in real life now. Some dividing opinion on their designs. The McLaren, especially, from what I've read, it's a bit like Marmite. You're either going to love the McLaren or you're going to hate it.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed by it. I expected a bit more.
I think it's a grower.
We'll have to see what it looks like on track. Anyways, we got Raylex as well out on the soft compounded tyres. So
That's only 2 drivers out early on. That's a few drivers just maybe waiting to see what happens, what other people do, not wanting to blink first. But each team have sent 1 driver out to begin with to set their first times. As another ETE driver is about to leave the pits. That will be
Wispy.
Wispy.
Also on the soft.
Wispy, another driver who's gained a huge amount of pace lately. I remember on the last game, he was sort of similar to my pace, if not a bit slower, but he's just taken off on this game. He really has.
Yeah, for sure.
What we're going to do now is we're going to get Walking Chaos to start a lap with a rusty flying hot lap.
Nice. Here we go. Coming down turn 1, 194 miles an hour. Down into 3rd, short shift to 4th on the exit to get the power down early. Activating that DRS. Come down into a difficult downhill braking zone. Back up, shift through the gears. Coming up to another difficult corner. Fast left-hander. It's a 26.7 first. Pretty good. Will he hit the curb of death? No, he doesn't. Keeps it clean. Out of the tight chicane. How can he do it? Oh, hits the curb a bit. Unsells the car. We gotta tap this curb to turn the car around. And that one. Now coming to another tricky corner. Oh, and he's gone wide. That is that lap over. We have Relax.
For Walking Chaos. There's Relax. There he is.
Also did a 26.7 first. Good. See what he does. Will he keep it clean? He does. 53.4 for the middle. Pretty good, pretty good. Last few corners now. This is where the tyres will be screaming. Close to 110 degrees. Activate the DRS and across the line it's a 15.1. Very nice banker lap from Mr. Relax.
Cracking banker from Relax to start us off with there. Who have we got on a lap? I think it will be Wispy who was next out, wasn't he? So
yes.
Wispy then coming round. 53.8 through the second sector into the final twisty bit. As Rusty mentioned, your tyres are screaming at this point. You've got to keep it nice and tight, and around the final corner he comes. Keeps it nice and tight to the inside for the shortest route possible and goes across the line. Wispy Stone then does a 15.6 to go P2 so far.
Did Matthew have a spin?
He has.
Fast left hand.
Jason coming across next then, so Jason back. Very quick drive in his own right, so 15.6 level with Wispy.
Oh, we got Tompa, I think, is the next car. Comes across
like
the line.
Lap from Tompa so
49.
far. 49.
Very nice lap from him. I believe, is it Murder next? Or is...
Murder, where are you, Murder?
Yeah, I believe it is.
So ETE Murder, also known as Murder Mass, coming across the line. What can he manage? He does a 15.4.
Very nice. Next is... I'm not sure, is
I think
it?
it's Jack. Yeah, Jack for TTM coming across the line. What can he do? Can he get himself up the orders? A 15 flat to make it a TTM 1-2 provisionally here. And that's a good lap from Jack Miles. Good start from TTM here in the first part of qualifying. ETE are going to have to come back out strong, although we have seen some times from both teams in TT. We'd expect a few more to get into the 14s before the end.
Arns coming across the line.
Coming across.
15.5.
Oh, I just missed his.
We got Valet and
Cheers, beer.
Kenyon on a lap, but they are both on the mediums.
So this round, Valley.
See what times they can do in the mediums. It's a 54.5 for the middle for TTM Valley. Around nearly a second off. It's crazy how much the delta is between the soft and the mediums around this track.
Yeah, the traction advantage you've got from the soft tyres can be quite high here, which is why the undercut is also powerful around Hungary.
Yeah.
as Valet goes P8 with a 16.4, as expected, slowest of the competitive lap times we've had.
We have Kenyon, who's
Kenyon.
invalidated his lap.
So who have we got next then? Murder's coming into the pits.
Jason. Jason, go again.
Where's Jason? There he is. So yeah, cheers beer for that. And Crowding says pens are crucial.
Jason's
I think Rusty, you mentioned that before as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tricky one for the lads, but.
So that is your first half of qualifying, pretty much. I think everyone else is either an out lap or an in lap now, and at the moment, TTM have that front row locked out. We'd obviously expect a few more quicker times from both teams to come through as they get ready for their second runs. But TTM looking strong with locking out that front row. It means they've got the advantage of, I guess, the strategy card early on.
Morton Girls now starting a flying lap. I'm not sure if they are used or fresh softs. I can imagine them being fresh.
They are fresh softs for Walking Chaos.
I believe...
Timothy in the chat, up the TTM. Great to have you joining the chat there, Timothy. Or Tiomthy, sorry. I was saying that wrong. Unless it's just a different way of spelling Timothy. We'll call you Timothy.
So Walton Chaos is just up on his lap, around 200s. He's a lot better than he did before.
Oh god, yeah, navigates that chicane without Tokyo drifting it this time.
See what the middle sector is. 53.4. Good sector 2.
So this is obviously where he lifted off on his final run, this final sector. So he was half second up to the first two sectors, just showing how much he lost through that slide in the chicane. We're about to see how far he can get his car up as he comes across the line. Walking Chaos does a 1 minute 15.1.
It's a very nice lap.
3 TTM cars in the top 4 now. Raylix is on a lap, I believe.
Raylix?
So we'll go with Raylix, who's a 10th up at the moment.
Man who's improving day by day. A one to definitely be looking out for in the future.
Oh, sorry, Timothy. Timothy's a good nickname anyway.
Let's see, what will his sector 2 split be? Oh, he's just invalidated. 4 tenths up as well.
Raylix. So Raylix was looking to take pole. He does invalidate. Wispy, though, is on a lap.
Yep.
Or is Kenyon ahead of him?
It's Wispy. Hey, Kenyon's one behind.
I think Matthew might be ahead, actually. Although he's way down on his time, so that's not going to be a competitive time from Matthew on his first run.
4 tenths up.
So 15.6 so far from Wispy. Needs to find 7 tenths to topple Tomper. Word alliteration there, tongue-tied. See if he can topple Tomper from the top of the stands at the moment. It's a current 1-2 for TTM. Wispy's going to come across the line. Can he get his car into the 14?
15.0.
Just misses out.
Very strong lap.
Yeah, makes it a 3-4 for ETE. I believe we have
Kenyon.
into the pits. Kenyon, where is he? There he is. So Kenyon coming round next then. Just one more corner to navigate. Can he get his car up towards the top end of qualifying? He's on the soft compound of tyres. Not set a time yet. But he's going to come across the line and do a 15.5.
Decent lap. Matthew.
Oh, tapped too quickly and didn't check. Fair enough. No worries. We'll call you Tiomthy. Who have we got next then?
Raylix is...
Raylix.
I'm not sure if he's the next one, but he's on a lap.
Certainly pushing.
4 tenths up. See what he can do.
So can he take provisional pole
He
here from
can't.
Raylix?
The 14.
Nice lap from Raylix.
Very nice lap.
I think we've got another white car, so that will be Jason, who is 3.5 tenths up at the moment. Can he get himself up into towards the top 5? And he does! A brilliant final sector from Jason. And all of a sudden it's all changed at the front, as now it's a 1-2 for ETE.
Yeah, I'm just
I
gonna
think we've got
stay on
Arts.
board with Toma. He's just finished sector 1. He was about 2 tenths down in his sector 1 split.
Oh,
I think he made a
Arts
bit
has
of a
lost it as well on
mistake.
his lap. Matthew's coming around, but he's way down on his time, so it will be a TTM driver next, which is Kenyon's invalidated, so I think it's Valet.
Tompa, 2 tenths down.
Jump onto Tompa in a second. I'm just going to stay on board with Valet. A very quick driver, of course, comes across the line. Does a 15.3 to go P7. Tompa coming across the line. Jack, missed Jack's lap. Jack has just split the ETE drivers. Sorry, Jack. Great lap from Jack. Tompa comes into the pits. Obviously down his lap time. Backed out of that one. Murder backs out of his lap. And we have Arndt, who's also invalidated. I saw Arndt spin, actually. That would be why. As Mr. Levi, or Levy. I'm not sure, right, but I know who you are.
Say Levy.
Says Rusty on comms. Never thought I'd see the day.
ETE Levy. Even though it's Levi, we'll just say Levy.
Yeah. ETE Levi jeans. That's what we'll call him. Very quick driver, of course.
So it looks like
represents
Matthew and Lewis are going to be the sacrifice of the teams to go in the medium compound of tyres.
It does indeed. Valet went again, so we'll see if Valet can improve on his time or if he's going to jump into the pits.
He's into the pits.
Jumps into the pits. The TTM driver out on track. Jack, who went P2, is way down on his time, so he'll be coming in. So that is... Everyone is now ready for their final runs here in qualifying. If anyone's got any predictions in the chat of who you think is going to get pole, Raylex has quite a big gap at the moment, but of course we know a lot of these drivers have mid-14s in their pocket waiting to challenge. So who do we have on track?
Just Louis on the medium tyres.
TTM Louis, very fast driver from what we've seen in his TT times and of course with his previous team. He's gone for the mediums, so can he get that car anywhere near Arndt this time in the softs, or is he just sort of going out to get his eye in and to get a time on the board? We'll soon find out, as he is going to be the first person to set a time of their final runs.
Yeah, I think he'll do this lap.
Oh, it's Vale, not Valley, like Bale. Oh, okay, I thought maybe it was like a Valentino Rossi fan was calling himself Valley. I was going like with Valley and Rossi in the same team, but yeah. Okay, Vale. My apologies. So Louis starting his first flying lap on the medium tyres down through turn 1. We'll see what he can manage on this lap of the Hungaroring.
Very close to grid, must say.
Yeah, it's looking very tight. Like I said, apart from the gap at the front, which, like I said, we'd expect some other guys to maybe close that gap down. You've got Jack, Jason, Tompa all on 0.9s, and then Wispy just a tenth off Tompa. It's really tight, which bodes well for the race.
It's going to be a great finish to this qualifying session.
Yeah, this is the one you don't want to miss. And like I said, if anyone has any predictions on who they think is going to steal pole position, will ET hold on, or is TTM going to come up and switch this round again and put themselves back at the top of qualifying? We are about 3 minutes away from finding out the answer to that question. Everyone almost out on track. There's only a few guys left in the pits, and it's becoming very busy. TTM Louis is about to complete his lap on those medium tyres. Around the final corner.
16-1.
16-1 on mediums.
It's a very good lap. Next is Wispy, I believe. Oh, and Wispy's just invalidated.
That's a shame for Wispy, currently P5, but a tenth of a second can improve you by a good few positions here. We've got
Raylex is
TTM
backed
drivers.
off. Vale.
Vale. Yeah, we'll get his name right now. Vale. Valley was quite funny though. Yeah, like I said, I just assumed there was a Valley and a Rossi in the same team, but there isn't. It's obviously Vale, and he's gone for Kenyon on pole. Is his prediction.
Vale nearly 2 tenths up in the first sector.
Vale looking good.
This is where track evolution comes into play. Track has got a bit of rubber laid down now, so to be a lot quicker than what it was at the start of qualifying.
Yeah, 100% it will indeed. Vale trying to get that purple mobile on towards the front row. He's up on his time by 3/10. This is going to be close, isn't it? We're going to see so many cars. So 2 corners to go for Vale. He's got a teammate up ahead that might help him with a little bit of a toe down. Oh, he's round!
He's gone.
Big crash for Vale.
The tyres did not like that. The tyres did not like it. Kenyon now.
We've got Kenyon is 2/10 up. So this isn't going to be fast enough for the front, but he does go ahead of Vale. Vale was looking at a front row potentially, and out he goes.
As I said,
next?
Those tyres are screaming in the last sector. Matthew.
Jack started a lap.
Matthew's on the mediums. Sorry.
Matthew.
I think there's a few cars ahead.
There are. Let's see if I can find the right one.
There is ETE spin and Wispy's gone.
Oh, Wispy's out as well.
And Raylex.
Raylex has gone.
Oh, they're dropping like flies. What's going on?
They are indeed. Pressure is on ETE and TTM have got some chances here. Let's see if I can find who's on a lap. It is Louis who is half a second up nearly on the medium tyres. Could he get those mediums into the top 10?
That will cost him a lot of time. A big mistake there. Mind, he's already done 2 laps on these mediums. So we have a bit of wear on.
Tompa retires in the pits. Oh no, Tompa's died as well.
Oh my word.
So they're all dying as they push for these final 10ths.
Jason is on a lap. Is there anyone else ahead? Murder.
Yeah. Where's Murder? There he is. Let's go Murder and then we'll go Jason. So Murder level with his time at the moment, hoping to see if he can gain a few tenths in the final sector.
15-3. I think that's put him past Vale.
Does indeed. I think we've got not Walking Chaos. Yes, Walking Chaos coming around next.
Got it.
Can he improve? Oh, runs wide but doesn't invalidate. P4 for Walking Chaos. Jason then invalidated his final attempt. And Matthew does a 16.3 to go P12, or to stay P12. And I think that is it.
Yes.
Says pushed a little too much. Tyres couldn't take it. Yep. We saw a few crashes towards the end as drivers were trying to find that extra tenth or two. But they all sort of fell at the hurdle. A few ETE drivers just failing to improve some crashes and spins. Probably the biggest surprise, of course, was Vale, who was quite a bit up on his time and then lost it on the penultimate exit of the penultimate corner.
Potentially
it's a shame for Vale.
A front row start there.
It was indeed. It was looking very quick. We'll do a quick rundown of qualifying then. As Rusty mentioned, each team seems to have sacrificed one driver to start on those medium tyres. Raylex for ETE gets the pole position. Will start alongside Jack Miles for TTM. ET Arnts will start in third ahead of Walking Chaos. And then Jason is ahead of TTM Tompa. Wispy Stone will start P7 ahead of TTM Kenyon. Then we have ETM Murder ahead of TTM Vale. And then it's TTM Louis and Matthew on the back row for 11th and 12th, starting potentially on the mediums. Of course, they will have free set of tyres. One thing I've noticed, each row has one driver from each team. It couldn't be more evenly matched than this. Yep. It's just such a closely matched battle, this. As TTM Caesar, welcome to the chat, up the TTM. One of the head honchos, of course, at TTM, joins to cheer on his academy team. And it's looking grey out there, Rusty. Could we see some rain?
Maybe.
Very grey.
Will it be rain towards the end? Or will it just be overcast? Does anyone have a weather forecast? If anyone does, that would be nice.
Storm says great quality from everyone. It was indeed. And like I said, sometimes you get qualifying events where the top 5-6 positions can sometimes be dominated by one team, but these teams are so evenly matched that every row has a drive from each team in, and that just shows how evenly matched these teams are, and I am looking forward to this one. Get your predictions in the chat. Who is your prediction for the winner? Is it going to be ETE? Is it going to be TTM? I imagine we'll have all the ETE guys saying ETE. I imagine we'll have all the TTM guys saying TTM. But if you've got a prediction for who's going to outright win the race, let us know. And who's going to be the winner. Crowding's not racing, of course, so I can't predict my usual person to win it.
That would have been the obvious option.
Yeah. So, but I won't predict a binner myself because I'm a notorious jinx, as Storm will tell you himself. It got to the point where I wasn't allowed to mention his name or go on board with him during qualifying when I used to commentate on ERN races, because it usually ended up with Storm DNFing. So, as an Aquafiaz, buy followers, primes, and viewers. Really? I can do that? You'll get a block, sir.
I've got a forecast and it is dry, so I'm guessing it's
dry for the race.
Just very overcast.
A collective cheer from the drivers, a collective sigh from the watchers.
Yeah. 24% rain, apparently.
24% chance. So you're saying there's a chance?
There could be
like
some entertainment.
Crowding has gone for Raylix to win. Well, he had quite a big advantage in qualifying. I said behind Raylix it was very close indeed, but Raylix had a good sort of 2/3 gap over the next man. But that's qualifying, and racing is a whole different thing. The battle to turn 1 will be key, because overtaking isn't the easiest round here. Your main overtaking opportunity is, of course, turn 1, and if you can get a good exit, then potentially turn 2. But yeah, certainly the battle to turn 1 at the start is going to be crucial. I've already forgotten who was on the front row with Raylix.
Raylix and Jack Miles.
Jack Miles, that was it.
Yeah.
Quite a few of these times were set early on in qualifying, as we saw a few people spin and crash, searching for that extra 10th or 2.
Yeah, it would have been pushing it to the limit. They would have put a few safe laps in at the start of quali, and then towards the end, that's when you realise once you've set a decent lap, you can just full send and hope you keep it within the track.
As Ellis in the chat says, wonder what'll happen if I said TTM to win. I think you'll find a DM from ETE Storm, and all it will say is mate. That's literally all it will say. And then you'll find you lose access to ERN Discord. Of course, I'm joking. I mean, you will get the DM of Storm, of course, but I'm sure he wouldn't kick you out of a league.
Oh, don't say Ellis has just jinxed it.
Yeah. If TTM win now, we can basically blame Ellis. It's nothing to do with talent. It's all about Ellis jinxing it.
Yep. Exactly.
But of course, it's finally poised. You know, as we mentioned, a driver from each team on each row of the grid. It's I don't want to be the one to call this. I mean, it could go either way. You want to make sure you get to the end of the race, because points are crucial all the way down. You don't want to have a DNF, and Hungary is a track, as we saw in qualifying, which is tricky to get right if you lose one bit of concentration. It's a bit, as you said, Monaco without the walls by the side of the track, and you lose one bit of concentration, and that's it. You are out of here.
I've just had a check, and drivers are going to need to be on their toes. Formation lap is off.
Oh, okay. So no formation lap. So
I don't know if that's a mistake or what, but drivers are going to need to be aware that can't just sit back at the start. It's lights out when the lights go.
Yes, everyone in the chat, if you are racing and listening, or if you're an engineer or you're just part of the team, let you guys know that when those lights go out, you are going. You are not formationing, if that's a real word. As Bear says, who hosted the lobby? Can't remember his name. Oh yeah, Rusty's put, yeah.
Believe.
TTM LMB 17, the Belieber.
I just can't type.
But it's only a formation lap, so I guess these guys, they're talented enough to notice when the lights are going out in a different sequence, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Should only be a minute or two now before we are set to go. Just waiting, of course, for the countdown clock to start, and then we'll be off, and away we go, as many legends of commentary have said in the past.
And there we go.
There we go, and as we say that.
As soon as I say it, the timers went, and it's going to be lights out straight away.
So let me just get ready to put the controller up, get the menu ready.
This is going to be exciting. Let's hope for now, like safety car lap 1.
Yes, a clean lap 1 is what we all want. We don't want drivers DNFing straight away.
Here we go.
So it's 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. I've got no menu. But it's
Oh,
lights out and away we go here in Hungary.
Oh, pretty
Looks
even
like
start
a
for
good
the front
start
two.
from Jack Miles. Is he going to get into turn 1? He sends it on the inside of Raylex. We said the start would be crucial. Both TTM drivers look to have got the better start. Raylex hanging on though. Some battles going up and down, but I just want to see if Raylex is going to come back. He's not able to. I don't think they're still side by side.
Great racing, guys. Raylex has to go
Jack
wide.
Miles gets the move done. Crucial for TTM that both Jack Miles and Walking Chaos getting the better starts from their respective rows.
I don't know what happened to Wispy, mind. Wispy must have had a terrible start.
Yeah, he's gone backwards, hasn't he? Maybe he didn't realise it was a formation lap.
Yeah.
There was no formation lap.
Let's have a look.
As the nose to tail, as you'd expect early on here in Hungary, as the snake winds round towards the end of the second sector of the first lap. Raylex pushing Jack Miles. He's lost that first position, of course. Tompa, though, all over the back of Arntz. Just drops back a bit as they get into the braking zone. Not close enough for a move on lap 1, and you can see them all nose to tail already. And this is going to be an absolute barnstormer. As TTM sees in the chat, says good start. It was indeed great start for TTM. Early doors and fastest lap for Jack Miles, as you'd expect on the first lap of the race. A few cars weaving in the background just to break the toe. I think it's
on Louis in the turn 1. Should expect Wispy being on those. Oh, we got yellow flag.
Yellow flag.
Arntz
is round. So Arntz round at the start of lap 2.
Does he have damage? I don't see any.
Let's have a look. Wispy did not get the move done on Louis. Louis managed to fend him off.
I think Arntz might have damage. The non-visible damage.
Yeah, he's dropping back still.
Yeah,
unless he's just not wanting to warm his tyres. The gap formed from the top 3 now. Head back up to the front then as Raylex just 4 tenths behind Jack Miles, Walking Chaos behind Raylex. At the moment, it is first strike to TTM with Jack Miles getting the better start and Arntz having a spin at the start of lap 2. Storm says no damage for Arntz, so it's no damage, it's just I've missed the Wispy Stone and Louis.
But crucially, Matthew got past Louis, who's also on those medium tyres.
Yeah, good start for Matthew. Down at the front, Raylex getting close, but not close enough for Jack Miles.
Raylex using
TTM
a bit more of his DRS than Jack Miles. So if he should maybe stay behind, stay in the DRS, save some of the DRS and his tyres, and wait for an opportunity to pounce. They have brakes that 1 second gap from Walking Chaos.
Yeah, front 2 beginning to get a bit of a gap already now, and it's like we said, it's early doors, but it's first blood to TTM here in the False Group World Championship Shadow match here at Hungary, and the front 2 beginning to gap Walking Chaos and Tompa, with Jason having a train of his own with Vale and Kenyon trying to hunt him down. As Mr. Oakley joins the chat, Shabba Labba Ding Dong, ETE all the way, he says. They're going to need to get the foot down a little bit here, ETE, because at the moment it is TTM in the driving seat after a great start from Jack Miles off the line. Same with Chaos and Tompa. As we saw Wispy go backwards early on and Arntz make that mistake. Vale has got a good exit though from the final corner. He's going to be putting Jason under pressure as he heads towards turn 1. They do have DRS now. Is he going to be able to make this move?
Will he go for it?
I think he's going to be close enough. He is going for it.
Jason, they're both leaving off room. Jason's able to keep his position.
Yeah, good battle, and he's going to get a second help in DRS, but it is only a short straight this bit, and Jason holds on to P5 for now.
By the front, it's still 4 tenths between the top 2.
Yeah, close between Raelix and Jack Miles. You get the feeling he's probably just hanging in there as Kenyon picks up a 3-second time penalty on lap 4. That's early for a penalty, and that could be costly towards the end of the race. On board with this Jason train at the moment. I'm keeping my eye on that gap at the front because it is coming down. It's sort of fluctuating between that 3 and 4 tenths. In fact, let me go on to this front battle actually. As we head towards the end of lap 4, about to start lap 5, and Raelix will be looking to try and make a move on Jack Miles now that he has the help of DRS. Heatwave in the chat says up the TTM. Plenty of support for TTM in the chat, as there is for ETE in this first round shadow match at the Falls Group World Championship.
Vale is
so Raelix,
much
don't
closer
think he's
now.
close enough on the exit of that final corner.
Obviously the drivers will be running a lot higher downforce this track. Most likely that. Oh, Vale taps the rear of Jason. That unsells his car.
Just caught that.
It's a bit naughty. I can't imagine it was on purpose, but there'll be one for the stewards to look at.
Yeah, that move though does mean now that TTM have 5 drivers in the top 6 of this race.
Nice.
Still 30 odd laps to go still, or 30 and a half laps to go should I say. So plenty of time for both teams to make more moves. But again, early doors, TTM have made the early moves. And it's only Louis that isn't in the top 6, but of course he started on the medium compound of tyre. 2-second gap though now from the front 2 to the bottom 2 from third onwards is
fine.
They're fast.
Yeah, completely away from everyone else. But say you've got 5 TTM in the top 6. Kenyon's carrying that 3-second penalty. Say if the race was to finish now, he would drop all the way down to 11th with that penalty.
Yes, very true. Penalties will be crucial. We go on board with Matthew because it looks like we may have a team switch here.
Yeah,
at the back though, we've got Jason and Louis. Jason trying to defend, Louis around the outside.
They both have DRS.
Louis goes for the move. A little bit of wheel banging, but that's okay.
Louis got it. This is
good move from Louis.
Yeah, changing up right now. The mediums will start to become the quicker tyre. So
one thing I did notice about this track is the softs do tend to overheat quite early on.
Sure.
And potentially some of the soft runners maybe just facing a bit of those problems themselves now. No such problems for the front 2 because they are storming away at the front. 2.3 seconds now, the gap.
Yeah. And I can't say Onslaugh's no damage, so that is good on his side. I'm sure he is catching the pack bit by bit. Obviously, that did not help with the spin.
Matthew's lost it. Oh no! And the ETE driver collides with him.
Oh no from wing.
That is bad from
Wispy, no from wing.
Oh dear. It's all going wrong for ETE early on here.
4 drivers in the pit.
I was about to say, before Matthew lost it, could we see a driver swap between Murder and Matthew? But as I was about to say it, Matthew just lost the rear on that penultimate corner. And then collected, I'm guessing it was Wispy, if Wispy's in for a front wing.
Yeah, it must have been Wispy.
Yeah, so unfortunate mistake. We saw after that similar mistake in qualifying from, I think it was Kenyon who lost it on the exit of that corner. This time it was Matthew losing it on the way into the corner. And the rear just went away and sort of, obviously his tyres may have been overheating, but it just sort of got away from him. And then unfortunately Wispy couldn't avoid him, and everyone's still in it of course. That still means that ETE have a chance to come back at this, but it's looking more and more favourable for TTM at the moment, and the front 2 will go battling again as the VSC comes to an end, and these 2 are definitely going to be going toe to toe for pretty much the whole 35 laps I feel.
We have Arndt and Wispy on the medium, so I'm expecting a 2-stop strategy from them 2, as I do not believe the mediums can make it from. Yeah, it would be some stints if they did.
Oh, it really would. As Raylex is right on the back of Jack now, pushing him to try and see if he can force the TTM driver into a mistake. But he seems unflappable at the moment at the front. Just Jack Miles. In the chat, what happened? Matthew spun. Yeah, Matthew spun, collected teammate, penultimate goal. Yeah, exactly that. Exactly what Heatwave said.
But what Raylex
Nose
is
to
doing
tail.
now, it's perfect what he's doing. Stay in the DRS, save ability tires, save the DRS, try and force the driver ahead into any mistakes, and then if you see a chance to go for the move, then you go for it. I'm expecting soft runners to pit in their next few laps for probably hard tyres, or if they're going to start, maybe mediums.
Yeah, one thing Heatwave just said in the chat that Tompa is starting to catch these two. So is this just that Tompa's looked after his tyres better, or potentially is Jack back in Raylex back up into the pack? Do we think, or is it just a case of sort of
could be both.
tyre wear and
Raylex pits.
so Raylex going for an early undercut.
He will be going for the undercut on Jack Miles. See what
Bale and
tiles.
Walking Chaos swap places.
It's the medium compound for Raylex.
So that is probably, I mean, that's going to be 26 laps on the mediums.
Yeah, it's going to be a stretch.
That's a big ask.
Maybe hoping for another safety car.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if you look at if you take a snapshot right now, 1 to 6 is TTM, 7 to 12 it's ETE. ETE may well need a safety car to get themselves back into this, but of course we're not even halfway yet, so anything can happen. But it is looking very strong for TTM in this first round matchup.
Yeah, I see. Tom has now dropped off again from Jack Miles, so it could have been the case of Jack Miles was backing up into Tompa.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, it is a team game, so strategy comes into play. And it's like I said, a long race ahead of us. But at the moment, some gaps have formed. We've got Wispy at the back, on the back of Arntz, as these three look to try and make up some lost time after that early issues early on. Arntz we had the spin at the start of lap 2, and then Wispy, of course, was collected by Matthew, and Matthew spun. So they are sort of at the back as Jack Miles has pitted. So where is Raylex? So has he got the undercut?
Will he have the undercut?
We'll go on board with Raylex, see if we can see where Jack Miles is going to come out. Jack Miles is moving in the pit lane now, so this is going to be very tight. Has
this
the
is going
undercut
to be
worked
close
for Raylex? It's crucial for Raylex.
He has got past him. Jack Miles has gone the hard compound tyres, so that Jack Miles
strategies
will
there
be going to the end. Jason
Raylex
also
needs to get
pit.
the hammer down now, doesn't he?
Yeah, for sure. Jason also pit for the mediums, so maybe 2 stop. I just don't think the mediums are the better tyre to pit on. I feel I would rather go safe. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they're hoping for a safety car. I mean, it is Hungary. We could see it. We've already seen a couple, but these are all very talented focus drivers, so you can't. It's not like league racing where you've got 20 drivers and you can sort of some tracks guarantee on a safety car. These are 12 top level drivers who are fully focused on bringing home the points for their respective teams.
Obviously, we're not in their individual parties, so there could be internal strategies going on. Obviously, we don't know about. And Kenyon is pitting.
So where do we think Kenyon is going to come out?
He should behind maybe Murder, or maybe behind the whole pack. No, I think we come up behind
at the start of this pack.
Hard.
Raylex sets the fastest lap.
Oh, this is going to be close. Where's he going to come out?
Is he going to clear the pack? Here comes Arntz. Arntz is ahead of him.
Oh, here's Wispy. Wispy is ahead.
Can Matthew slots in behind, so Kenyon goes in between Wispy and Matthew then.
Kenyon does not have DRS, Matthew does. Try it on the outside. No, it's always dangerous right on the outside.
And as Bear says in the thing, you can't hope for a safety car, that's no strategy. Well,
yeah,
that's very true,
exactly.
Especially in esports events, you can't rely on a safety car.
Matthew right on the back of Kenyon now.
Yeah, 3-lap-old hards versus fresh hards, so there won't be much of a difference between them this early on.
No.
But Matthew's going to want to get that move done as soon as possible if he has that pace. With those, of course, his tyres will already be up to temperature. He's going to want to get it done early on.
Yeah. Top are pitting as well, and Chaos.
So it's going to be interesting to see whether Tomper can come out ahead of. Where was he before? He was behind Jack Miles. And Murder's about 3.5 seconds behind Jack Miles, so he's going to be looking to try and get into that gap between Jack and Murder.
Relax, comfortably got past. Murder has also got past. Nice, he's Thomas got out ahead.
Arntz may get him here. They're side by side at turn 1. Arntz going around the outside. Has he managed to do it? I think Tomper has just held on. They're still side by side as they head towards turn 2. Arntz to the inside of Tomper.
Turns in a bit.
They're banging wheels, but they're still going at it side by side. Arntz not giving in, but has to concede now. And Tomper holds on to P6. That was crucial for Tomper to keep that position there.
Has Arntz just got damage from the contact? I'm not sure.
Hasn't he, I think?
Yeah. Go on boards.
See if he loses a lot of time to Wispy. Looks like he is losing a tenth a corner at the moment to Wispy. As Vale is now in the pits.
Doesn't look really good. Doesn't look too bad. Yeah, it looks fine.
Yeah, so see where Vale comes out then. Vale starting to make his move. Where's he going to come out in this? Because he's going to be looking at coming out around the same sort of position in this train. If he can get out ahead of the train, then that's going to be good for him.
Oh, what? That was
got
great.
Some moves. Walking Chaos as Jason goes around the outside of Walking Chaos. Walking Chaos just fence him off. Good defending there from the TTM driver.
Will Jason try again around the outside?
He's trying everything. This will be a lovely move if this comes off.
Oh, it's so tight through here.
Still side by side.
Do not go side by side here. Wow. Well done.
Lovely
Jason.
move. Hats off
Very
there.
nice.
Lovely move from Jason. Kept it in there. And Matthew up next then for Walking Chaos. Chaos, of course, on those fresh mediums who have been hoping to hold on to that position. Now that everyone's made their pit stops apart from Louis, it's looking a bit more even again, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, the positions.
Yeah, Relax has got nearly a 5-second lead ahead of Jack Miles, whereas net P1, obviously with Louis not pitting, so it just shows how much quicker at the start those medium tyres are.
Yeah, definitely. But we're on board with TTM Vale, who looks like he's about to take P4 from Murder as Murder goes defensive. Which way is he going to go? Vale goes to the outside of turn 1. Is he going to get the move done? Murder defends to the inside. He's going to force him to go around the long way and defends so far, but he's going to get a second hope in his DRS and should get this move done. Bit of contact.
I've seen that, but nothing Murder could have done. He is on the medium tyres compared to Murder on the hards. And with DRS, you've kind of got to give that in to be there.
Yeah, exactly. So that promotes Vale up to 4th then, behind his teammate Jack Miles, who's about another 4.8 seconds up the road. Vale starting to get the gap down to Louis.
Kenyon the only one with the penalty still. So I could still hit them later on.
Evening Giles in the chat, thank you for joining in. Giles, of course, part of the TIR management team. Does a lot with the weekends and made his return to midweek racing as Jason picks up a penalty. That evens it out on the penalty count for the teams now.
Yeah, see, this is just massive DRS train from Wispy to Tompa, really.
Yeah, I think Wispy has lost the DRS to Murder.
I believe so, yes.
Oh, moving further back, Matthew having a look at Chaos. Not close enough for DRS train, not helping him in the overtaking front. Because of course they've all got a helping of DRS. It's all about exits and braking points.
Yeah, definitely. There's still 20 laps to go. Anything can happen.
Exactly. We're not even halfway yet, guys. So anything can happen, as Rusty's just said. And it is anyone's guess who's going to win this still. TTM had the early advantage, but with those early pit stops due to some unforced errors, ETE have started to bring themselves back into it, but it is still advantage TTM as it stands. As Giles says, go ETE. So again, some good support from both teams in the chat, which is what we like to see. Warden Chaos putting pressure on Jason. He wants that position back after Jason did that brilliant move around the outside of him a few laps ago. But now Chaos is ready to get that position back. Now he's got his tyres up to temperature.
Oh, it's so
getting dicey.
Yeah, I think when you're in this DRS train, you start to get frustrated because you can't overtake, and you just want to get past people as quick as possible. So
yeah,
maybe some crazy moves might happen later on.
We could see some Daniel Ricciardo-esque
Yeah,
late braking
sure.
if the train carries on for much longer. As Kenyon closing in on Arndt as well, just 0.3 of a second behind the Norwegian. Of course, the TIR's Division 4 champion. He was crowned recently, but he's finding it hard to come by today with his early spin, and he's under a lot of pressure from Kenyon at the moment. Need to bring all of his talent that he's shown this season into this race to defend Kenyon, who looks to have a lot of pace on those hard tyres.
Yeah, definitely. See, Wispy has now got into the back of Murder's DRS, so...
Good, so now he can help defend. They've all got, like I said, it's a big DRS train from Murder all the way back to Tomfra. That could be where the race is won and lost, that sort of battle for
Could
P5. The lesser points, if you will, because the top four seem to have broken away. Although Louis still has to pit, and that gap is coming down at the front. But Louis got some good pace on those medium tyres, despite being 16 lap old. It's not come down as quickly as I thought it might.
No.
I think Jason and Matthew have just swapped positions.
Louis gone!
Oh, as I say that, I've just jinked Louis.
Wow!
Where's he gone?
Massey, you... Oh, the commentators.
Oh no!
Curse. Safety car.
I'm getting fired.
Now, could this have benefited the medium runners? Well, people who pitted for mediums.
You think so? I mean, you'll probably box for another set of mediums, you'd imagine.
Yeah.
It's what I'd do.
Yeah.
Oh dear, Crowding. Crowding says he called it.
Yeah, well, he
so
said
you can
it.
blame Crowding, like I said. You
fair
can't
few
blame me, you
times.
can blame Crowding.
Can the mediums do? Yeah, I would go mediums. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Why not?
And that changes the whole outlook, because before that incident, it was looking very much like it was TTM's to lose. And now all of a sudden it changes everything.
Yeah, it's not over.
Because...
It's not over till you cross the line at the end.
Exactly. We are halfway through this race, and we have our first full safety car. We had a VSC earlier on, but now we have a full safety car. So Rayleigh comes into the pits. Jack Miles, is he going to stay out?
Jack
He's
Miles
gone for
stays
track
out
position, so he stays out.
on those hard
Vale
tyres.
stays out.
Vale stays out on the mediums.
Wispy pits. Murder pits.
I think it's a no.
Ards pits.
I think it's a no-brainer to pit. Surely.
All of TTM are staying out, it looks like. So TTM have gone for track position, while ETE have gone for... Every ETE driver has pitted, every TTM driver has stayed out, from what I can see. So it is a complete opposite of strategies between the two teams.
Oh, double
and-
stack.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter too much, because they'll come out behind them anyway. Rayliex, though,
Yeah.
got his pit stop in and out, and has still come out in P3.
It just shows
Rayliex.
the gap he had was big enough. Right, this is...
It's just got really interesting, hasn't it, with
Oh,
with the
definitely, yeah.
strategies. So if you were the TTM drivers to, like I said, it's a complete night and day sort of chalk and cheese strategy between the two teams. TTM opting to stay out, all of ET opting to pit. If you're sort of engineering these teams, would you have gone with ETE's decision, or would you have gone with TTM's track position option? Because they will be able to develop their own train effectively, although they will have Rayleigh in the middle of the TTM Express.
If I was engineer, I would win the ETE option. That's not me, just being biased, but you've got Vale, Chaos, and Tompa on already mediums, already used from maybe lap, I don't know when they did, lap 10 maybe, and then mediums going to the end. It's going to be a struggle for them when you've got then another 5 ETE drivers on fresh mediums. So it's going to be a struggle for some TTM drivers to keep the ETE guys behind, but as I said, it's not easy to overtake, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, one thing Jack's probably going to be told to do, I would imagine, is to keep his teammates in his DRS. So
yeah.
He's going to need to keep them in his DRS.
Either does that, or he asks Vale to just hold Rayleigh up, basically. Because
oh yeah, true.
TTM also have Kenyon and Chaos to help with that. So let Vale hold Rayleigh up, and Jack can just gain however many seconds ahead. But Rayleigh on this fresh medium, so we'll see what pace he had in qualifying. It's going to be a struggle for TTM's Vale to hold him back. Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting final 15 laps.
One thing that we can say for certain though is we are going to see some moves, because ET cannot hold position in the current positions they're in. They went for the more aggressive strategy. They all decided to pit. TTM went for the hold the track position sort of strategy. So we will see some moves, and Heatwave just echoes what you said in the chat. TTM still has fairly fresh tyres, but ETE are going to be faster, and making moves may be hard. So it isn't the easiest track to overtake, as we saw with the train we had before. It was very difficult to make moves, and maybe that's what TTM are relying on, the fact that it isn't the easiest track to overtake on, especially if they can create their own train, as safety car is in this lap. So Jack Miles will become the pace setter. So they will all have to follow the speed that Jack Miles does as he decides when to go. Remember, you can't go, stop, and then go again. So once he goes, that is it.
Yeah.
And we'll see at what point he decides to put the foot to the floor. The tyres will be a little bit colder, so you've got to be careful on your exits not to lose it, as we've seen a few cars lose it with warm tyres around this final sector. When will Jack decide to go? And there he goes.
Oh, big slap. Big snap on the entry of the corner. Those hard tyres not working.
Oh, it's a really good restart from Rayleigh.
He's all over the back of Vale.
Fresher tyres. He's going to go for the outside. We're going to see some teamwork here between the two TTM drivers.
Has he got it?
Oh, it looks like a good
Still
battle
side
here.
by side. I think he's got
Great
it.
battling, guys. Giving each other. That's beautiful to see.
Perfect restart by Rayleigh. Perfect restart. That's exactly what he needed. Because now
great
he's
respect.
on fresh mediums compared to Jack on maybe 12 lap old hards. Yeah,
Wispy as well on the back of Tompa. Tompa needs to make sure he stays in that 1 second gap to Chaos, but he's just dropped back a little bit. They wanted to try and close that gap back up, and yeah, there it is, straight back to within half a second as the snake carries on around. I guess for ETE, one thing they're going to do is every time they want to make a move, if they want to make it where they almost not forcibly compromise their rival, but do it so that it gives. Oh, Wispy just clips the corner a little bit. That will be costly towards the end. That's 2 drivers now with penalties. And Rayleigh is on the back of Jack Miles. Those fresh tyres versus those worn hards, already paying dividends. This should be pretty straightforward. Jack goes defensive. Rayleigh is forced to the outside of turn 1. Jack will defend.
Do it again.
Ooh, bit of contact. That's all fine though.
Yeah, Rayleigh has got so much more grip on those fresh mediums.
Yep, and into P1 goes Rayleigh. Wispy on Tompa.
Oh,
Wispy gets the move done. They're just banging wheels a bit. I think he'll be able to defend that one. And the ET driver's going side by side. Just be careful, guys.
Oh my word.
And,
has Wispy got damage?
Oh, where's Wispy going?
He must have damage.
There. Yeah, there was a little bit of contact between the two. And then he just sort of backed off, didn't he?
Yeah.
So that's Wispy to the back of the pack then. Allows all his teammates to go through. It's a shame for Wispy on the restart.
Has he? I don't know what's going on.
Unless he just had a bad exit and didn't want to get in the way of people, so just backed off. And another penalty for ETE as Murder picks up a penalty.
It's going to be costly at the end of the race.
It really is.
I don't think Wispy's got damage. I think he just let them pass with him. Make a by accident. Maybe he's got penalties, so he's just
true.
Let them go. Wouldn't want to hold anyone up.
Miles is going to let his teammate Vale go here on those medium tyres.
Yeah, makes sense. Becker on those tyres at this moment in time. Raylex's already got a 1.7 second gap.
Yeah, looking good for Raylex, but TTM at the moment still in the driving seat points-wise as they hold 2nd to 6th. But could that DNF from Louis come back to bite them if a few of those ETA drivers can get themselves a little bit... Oh no! Raylex picks up a penalty.
Is he pushing just that too hard to get a gap?
Yeah, a late safety car now, and then all of a sudden TTM are looking very strong. At the moment, ET still not able to make moves on TTM, but we should have DRS reactivated now at the end of this lap. And then maybe we'll see a few more moves. Matthew all over the back of his teammate Murder. Could we see some potential changes as Matthew doesn't have a penalty? Or does Murder feel like he has the pace to have a go at the purple cars up the road?
I would expect
as Ellis says, can't blame Schumacher. As Relic sets the fastest lap, he is flying now. Yeah, good teamwork there from ET as Matthew goes ahead of Murder Mass, or ET Murder, as he's known in the ET world. We've got another change up front as Kenyon goes past his teammate Jack Miles, so plenty of teamwork going in as they settle into the last part of the race. As they just figure out where each other's pace is, where it feels they are best to defend from ETE.
2.2 seconds now, so the gap isn't increasing as much as it was before. 2/10 or something.
Still needs to get another second over Vale, really, doesn't he? To get that gap after that penalty. Vale doing well on those warm mediums.
A late safety car would ETE in a bit of danger. Well, we don't know what the warning situation is like for TTM.
But yeah, we could see some more from both teams.
So, still playful. You know, the Louis DNFing, that was just out of nowhere. I mean, he had a comfortable lead, and then all of a sudden, a little mistake, and that's it. Completely changed the race.
Has spiced it up. Matthew is on the back of Tompa, though. Again, with everyone having DRS, it's just allowing him to defend quite easily.
Yes.
Jason has lost DRS of this pack now as well, though, so Jason needs to get back up to the back of this pack, and he has done. That's good for Jason. Needed to be back with the pack. And like I said, this could be what TTM were hoping on, this DRS train, which makes it very difficult to overtake. Matthew trying to force the issue. Just a 10th off the back of Tompa.
Oh, this is... bit of a snap.
That may have been a warning.
Yeah, well, we know how inconsistent F1 2021 is, so...
Well, yeah.
Might have or might not have been, who knows.
Matthew staying less than 2/10 behind Tompa throughout the entire first half of that lap. And
I saw that coming. You know when you look at a car going, you can just see him going wide.
Another penalty for ETE. They need to start making some moves. Those penalties are going to drop them down at the end of the race. TTM can almost just relax a little bit now, you'd think. They've got a lot of drivers with penalties behind them. 11 laps to go. Raylex still hasn't got that 3-second lead that he needs. Vale doing really good on those 11-lap-old mediums, and Kenyon pulling along his teammates, as we mentioned before, to allow them all to get that DRS.
Yeah. I don't know if it would be worth maybe letting Arns through. Oh, just another moment. Just caught
Yeah, just lets Arts go through. So that's Arts into P9. Matthew at the moment, the head of the ETE train, struggling to make any impact on the purple train in front of him. The purple blur that is flying around the hairpin of doom in Hungary. And at the moment, it's looking pretty ominous for ETE. But again, we still have 10.5 laps to go. But TTM certainly in the driving seat at the moment.
I think if Arns can catch up to this group with Murder and Matthew, it could be worth swapping around
Matthew.
What do you think of wide? Just because if Arns can get up ahead of Murder and Matthew and stay with the TTM drivers, you can get ahead of Kenyon. So Kenyon's carrying that 3 seconds as well.
We're about to see a swap. We're about to see a swap. Matthew again closing, but not closing enough as they all have DRS. The Purple Express carries on here in Hungary, and they are again, just as we mentioned earlier on with Jack Miles.
Kenyon.
Oh, what's happened?
Oh, that was. There's a bit of miscommunication there.
Maybe. This is Matthew's opportunity.
I don't
Matthew's
think
going to look
this
for
was
an outside.
He's done it.
I think. There was a bit of contact. I think.
I did not catch that.
Oh, and there goes a front wing flying.
Oh, I didn't catch that, so I wasn't quite sure.
A slight bit of contact as Matthew turned in for the corner. We'll leave that for the stewards as whether Kenyon was far enough alongside or whether Matthew turned in.
It's always a danger going side by side into that corner.
Yeah, definitely one for the stewards though, that one. They'll have a look at that between those two. Matthew had to make the move. The opportunity came to try and start breaking up that purple train, but did he leave enough room, or should Kenyon have backed out? That's what the stewards are going to look out. Giles says, why did Kenyon drop like that? Yeah, there was a... Yeah, I think there was... Well, I don't think I know there was an incident between Matthew and Kenyon. Caesar says it's Matthew's fault. Heatwave says, bruh, WTF. Yeah, again, guys, just leave it for the stewards, as you would do in the Discord chat. I'm
going to guess Murder got collected in that.
Yeah, I saw an ET front wing go flying in the air, so I know one car got collected from ETE.
Softs for Kenyon.
Involved in that.
Oh, I don't know if that... Did he do it by accident? Murder's gone into the mediums.
Oh, yeah. So how many laps are left? 9.5 laps to go.
Is that a glitch on my side? Yeah.
No, he's definitely on the mediums.
Yeah, it's what, 7 laps left? No, 6, 8. I can't do maths. Yeah, softs would be the better option.
Yeah, a few people in the chat saying that was probably more Matthew's fault than Kenyon's. Again, let's just leave it for the stewards as we are back to the action. Matthew now, of course, involved in that incident with Kenyon, now looking to try and break up the rest of the purple train ahead of him. As Arns picks up a 3-second time penalty. Is that the final nail in the coffin for ETE here today?
It could be.
Because the laps are running out and they don't have the gaps needed at the moment to make any impact. Jack Miles doing a great job in P3 for his team, allowing Vale to get away as he allows his teammate to go past as they swap positions. But it's been a great team display so far. Both teams have had a great effort today, but from what I've seen from TTM, the teamwork they've had, the decision to go for track position over pitting for fresh tyres meant they had to work as a team, and they've done just that. Obviously Kenyon unfortunate with his incident with Matthew. That the stewards, what do you mean leave it? It's not a fierce argument, just facts. Oh no, I'm not having a go at anyone. It's not a case of me saying, how dare you
I
speak.
saw that coming, Matthew.
Matthew round.
Oh no, it's curb of death. Oh, I saw it coming from miles away.
Yeah, they're almost trying. They're pushing hard. They're trying to get the positions back that they've lost through the safety car. It's got all wrong for ETE towards the end. Settle down. As Ellis says, see, I didn't jinx ETE on predicting them to win. Well, we can kind of blame you. I mean, it's not over yet, of course, still 6 laps to go. It looked home and dry for TTM early, and then we saw Louis have the mistake. But it's looking very much Although we've got an ETE driver in first, it is looking very much like a TTM victory at the moment. I don't know how the points work exactly, but I'm pretty sure if you've got second through to fifth, you're in a pretty strong position.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
Timothy, chill out. We don't need insults and things thrown around in the chat. There was an incident. Let's leave it at that. Calling people snowflakes isn't really what I want in the chat. If you want to go call people snowflakes, go take it to your DMs. That's all I'll say. Right, so Matthew in the pits for his new front wing. Kenyon sets fastest laps. That'll be an extra point as well for TTM. Of course, he went to those fresh, soft tyres, and Kenyon and Wispy are battling. Sorry, Murder and Kenyon. As Murder holds on to P9 for now.
Matthew.
Kenyon goes for the inside. Kenyon, is he going to make this move stick? I think he is. Murder's coming back at him, though. Ooh, bit of wheel bashing. Please keep it clean. Please keep it clean. And Kenyon gets the move done.
Yeah, he's on the soft tyres. There's going to be a lot more grip.
Yeah. Both drivers going full pedal to the metal. That was great battling between Kenyon and Murder there.
Jason's right on the back of Miles.
Raylex's lead out front. He now has that 3-second gap over Vale. Like I said, I don't quite know how the point system work out, but I'm pretty sure that TTM at the moment are in the driving seat. I don't know what the gap is between getting a first place and a second is. Giles says good hard battle lap. Yeah, it was a good battle lap, wasn't it, Giles?
Not sure if you get points for pole position either.
Oh, I think you do actually. But I think fastest lap at the moment is currently held by TTM, which it is Kenyon. Matthew, of course, has gone for fresh softs.
Yeah, let's see if he can snatch that away.
So we're heading into the final stages of the Hungarian Grand Prix here for the False Group World Championship Shadow event between these two academy teams. It's been a great contest so far. We've had Louis crash out halfway through the race, or just after the halfway distance. A couple of incidents here or there, but apart from the one incident that we saw, it's been a pretty clean race as it stands. And some great battles we've had on track between some of the teams. Some great respectful battles that I've seen, which is always nice to see. As Jason is trying to put the pressure on Jack, but Jack has the DRS from Tompa. And again, the Purple Express battles on.
Yeah, it's looking pretty plain sail for TTM now. 2, 3, 4, 5 without any penalties. Yeah, it's going to be a miracle if anything was to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Matthew takes the fastest lap.
So Matthew now gets that point back for ETE. Of course, any points helps. They got the pole. They looks like they may get the win, and they have the fastest lap. So of course, any points could help towards this. Kenyon and Murder side by side again. These two having a great little ding dong here in Hungary with Matthew waiting on in the background. Oh, kicking up the dust as they come round. 31 laps gone and they are still flat out here in Hungary. Great to see.
Yeah, Raylex's building a comfortable 5-second lead now. Can imagine Jack Miles will just be holding up ETE, Jason, Nance.
He's played a great team game today. Of course, Jack Miles had the pace early on, was obviously the driver battling Raylix for the win, but he's played a great team game, going on those hards and helping his team out with regards to stopping ETE from making their way through the Purple Express of the TTM train. And got to say, that's potentially obviously that decision we were questioning at the time, TTM staying out, ETE all pitting, we questioned at the time. Turns out it was the right decision, or at least it looks like the right decision so far for TTM. Like I said, great team effort towards the end here as they've held off the ETE charge. And Murder swapping positions at the back, so he's going to let Matthew have a go at Kenyon.
Matthew on maybe 2-3 lap pressure, softs. Should be flying now. But this will be crucial for Matthew to get past Kenyon, just if it makes any difference, really.
Yeah, it really will. It's like I said, all points count at the end of the day, and ETE will at the moment have the pole if they get points for pole and fastest lap. But actually TTM will have points on the board for the race result, it looks like. So like I said, I'm not sure how it works. If there's someone in the chat that is able to work out the points, then we can have like a provisional result once it finishes. If not, then we'll wait for the stewards to, like I said, there'll be at least one incident for the stewards to look at, but apart from that one incident, it looks pretty clean to me so far this race.
There's Matthew for the TRS.
Oh, Jason all over the back of Jack Miles, still fighting to the end. Let's go back and look at Matthew. Actually, you mentioned on those two-lap fresher tyres, should I say? Then
could this be the last lap overtake from Matthew?
These two both have penalties, so this is genuinely for position. I haven't seen them pick up a second warning. Second penalty to my knowledge. I won't look at penalties until after it's finished.
Bit of a snap on that curb.
Yeah, just got to be careful. You almost think if Matthew can get this move done on Kenyon, with the extra point that ETE have got for pole and potential fastest lap as it stands, it could even out the scoring a little bit. As Oakley says, you mentioning stewards freaks me out.
It would contribute to it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it still looks like TTM are in the box seat. Like I said, they've got 4 of the top 5 positions, so points-wise, you'd think they've done enough despite the ET pole and fastest lap. You'd think TTM would have done enough still.
Matthew's a lot closer now. He should be getting. Oh, another 3
Jason
seconds.
Another penalty.
Oh, it's Jason spun. Jason spun. Last left hander.
And here comes Matthew versus Kenyon. They're still side by side. Matthew's going to get another helping of DRS to go on the outside of turn 2. Kenyon's going to try and hold it in there though. These two are still side by side. Kenyon's had a good few battles with Murder, and now he's got to fight Matthew.
Oh, not round 2.
They're still side by side.
Round 2.
Here we go again. Good defending from Kenyon. Really good battling again.
Yeah, this is going to come to the last lap. Kenyon's light is flashing
now. We will jump on with the race leader before the end, but what I don't want to do is miss a last lap overtake between Kenyon and Matthew, because these two look like they're going to go right to the final corner of the final lap. Like I said, points could matter all the way through. TTM lost Louis, of course, so they do have that one DNF, but they do have the positions in hand for the points in the race as Wispy Stone goes ahead of Arntz. That'll be just a team swap, I would imagine. Can't imagine them doing actual battling on the last lap.
Yeah, we got Matthew on nearly 70% ERS compared to Kenyon's nearly
closer,
20.
Isn't he?
Yeah, this is
should be straightforward this time. Yeah, gets the move done into P9 for Matthew.
Go on board with the race leader.
Yep, race leader Railiex then into the final few corners. He's driven a faultless race. Apart from the one penalty, he's got the lead that he needed to win it. He's going to come around the final 2 corners. He'd take the win for the race for ETE, but it does look like, I said, points-wise, that TTM, provisionally at least, will probably take the overall victory. So Railiex does a bit of weaving. He takes the win here in Hungary. Vale drove a great race.
Oh, Murder's retired.
Oh, Murder!
No.
Murder has retired on the final lap. We've got nobody to go around and see that. It is 2nd for Vale, 3rd for Walking Chaos, 4th for Tompa, 5th for Jack Miles, 6th for Wispy Stone. Arntz comes home in P7. Jason is going to come home in P8. When he eventually crosses the line, there we go. ETE Jason is going to come across the line for P8. Matthew still has Kenyon on his tail. Matthew is going to come home in P9, I would imagine. I don't know what the penalty situation is, but I've only seen their name come up once, I think. And yep, there we go, P9 and P10. 2 DNFs. We saw Louis crash out earlier on in the race, and then unfortunately for ETE, what may be the final nail in the coffin, if it wasn't already closed shut, a DNF on the final lap for the ETE driver. And there you have it. That is your final position. So the murder does get classified. So I don't know how it works in false group with regards to being classified. He has been classified a lap down. So potentially, if they just do the top 10 points, then it doesn't matter anyway. But if they all get points, then he is classified. So we'll do a quick rundown. Raylix, as I mentioned, is your winner, ahead of TTM Vale. Walking Chaos gets P3, ahead of TTM Tomper. Jack Miles in P5, ahead of Wispy Stone. ET Arnts in P7, ahead of ETE Jason. Matthew gets P9, ahead of TTM Kenyon. ET Murder crashed out in the final lap, but does get classified in P11. And TTM Lewis, who lost it earlier on in the race from the lead, ends up DNFing and P12. So that is the timer starting as everyone is ready to go back into the lobby. Thank you all so much for joining. 23 people still in the chat. Like I said, it was a great race to watch, very respectful from the battles. There was one incident, of course, that the stewards will obviously have to take a look at, but we'll leave that for them. We've enjoyed this race. I have been ETE Massey, joined by the speedster TT Rusty. How much did you enjoy that one?
Yeah, it was a good race. Obviously, stewards will obviously come into hand, but great racing from both teams. I'm going to take it. TTM have won. They played their strategy great with team-wise, not getting any penalties, and a bit unlucky for ET today. The penalties didn't help, but move on to the next one. It doesn't end at round one. Only way is up.
Exactly. Plenty more races to go, and I think Beers just put in the chat that a provisional road potentially is TTM 84, ETE 78. So only 6 points potentially in it. It just shows how close it ended up in the end. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. I'm not sure what the next round of fixtures looks like or who we're facing next. Yeah, tune in next time for when False Group returns. Of course, they have the Big Twos, the Assist Twos, and the Shadow event. I will be logging off now, but in 5 minutes' time, I will be streaming the Sunday Drive, which is the penultimate round at Saudi Arabia, where we could potentially be crowning Season 4's champion. So thank you again all for joining us. I've been ETE Massey, joined by the ET team captain,